Well, welcome, Idris. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Father. I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's great
Wonderful.
to see you, Idris. This is Father Patrick, and I love the colors behind you.
Oh yeah, bleed American. It's good to see you, Father.
Great. Wonderful, Idris. Thank you. Again, this is Father Martin, and I know you wanted to address a certain question, ask us about something. So please go ahead. We'll love to talk to you about it.
Awesome. So my question is it's more of a social thing. As far as it's kind of like a social morality question. I've worked with a lot of different people as far as martial arts, or I've worked in construction for a little bit. And in both of those cultures that I'm involved in, both of those people, especially the men, they use a lot of foul language, and it's something that even in my culture of teenagers, young adults, there's a lot of cussing involved in our conversation. Every other word a lot of times is foul language. So my question is there some places where foul language is not morally wrong, where it's acceptable, or is it always bad to use it? Because I've used it before to get through to people, and I've known people to use it to lighten the mood or use it humorously. So that's my question.
Very good. First of all, great question. And are you still in that environment? Are you still working, in construction? Are you still facing that environment within martial arts, or that's something from the past?
I've stopped working in construction for a while now, but I'm still in the martial arts. I'm still in the martial arts world, and people, even amongst my friends, it's my close friends. It's common.
Okay, sorry, Idris, but we kind
You
of see you
froze.
frozen there, so we may have to restart again. So sorry about that. Are you?
No,
That's
just
okay, Father.
make
Don't worry.
Father Martin. Just make the question again. Are you still in martial arts?
Okay, we're gonna start. I'm gonna ask a question again.
Okay.
Um, so, are you still working in construction or within martial arts, or that's something from the past? Is something current at this point?
So I'm not in the martial arts thing anymore.
Uh-huh.
Um, I am in. I'm sorry. I'm not in construction anymore. I'm still in martial arts, and me and my close friends still talk that way a lot. But not in I'm not in the construction anymore.
Uh-huh.
Very good. So I would say the following in regards to the use of foul language. First of all, it's not something strictly necessary to be able to communicate with people. One is able certainly to avoid the use of foul language. The point is when we are able to maybe suggest a person to maybe use a different type of way of expressing himself, right? But first of all, we
Mm-hmm.
can say it's not necessary to communicate with a person to use foul language. That's I think the first principle. I know that at times this is very much used in the world of sports, for instance, or in maybe as you mentioned, in martial arts or other places. But it has become maybe a habit in those situations when it doesn't need to be the case. The temptation could be, oh, if I use this word or this expression that is not proper, that kind of foul language, I will be able to connect more with that person. To a certain extent, that might be true. Yeah, you might connect with that person, but is that a way to uplift that relationship? Is that a way to bring forth Jesus Christ into that relationship, right?
Right.
So that's basically the point here. Is that going to help the person truly finding us a Christ-like person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once again, it starts with our own example of not using foul language because that person cannot force us to do that, and then just by our example, we're setting the tone in that conversation. We're becoming more Christ-like.
Right.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I would add a little bit, just a suggestion. I mean, this is a broad topic, and there's more to say about it. But I would say, if you want to be Christ-centered and you want to be an example of holiness, or at least of Christ-like attitude toward others, I would say try to avoid cussing at all times, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you'll see that you can say exactly the same with exactly the same strength, with the same intensity, and even actually just as cool without saying any foul language, right? Now, it's true that some words are more offensive than others. Some words are more actually sinful than others, right? So sometimes definitely not use cuss language that will be offensive to God, because that's blasphemy, right? Sometimes they include the word of Jesus or God or some other terms there that are against our faith, right? And they become a blasphemy. In other situations, well, it's just words that are offensive to people, that are really insulting. You can insult really badly, and that's wrong. And other times you may inadvertently say a word that you did not intend to say. Well, that's a completely different area, right? So you try to avoid it and it came out, okay. Try to avoid it and that's it. And then another different thing is if you're completely on your own and you say a word and you didn't intend to say it. So each thing is a different gravity of action, of moral value, right? So having that in mind, my recommendation, try to grow in virtue, and the virtue is to try to talk like a civilized person, a person Christ-like. Imagine our Lord Jesus Christ and the apostles, how they would speak and so forth, and try to imitate that. Hold yourself at a higher standard.
And one last thing, Idris, is also that always truth, goodness, and beauty leads us to God, right? And trusting in that truth, in our conversation, in that goodness, and that beauty will gradually lead a person to be led to God. So we need to trust, and that's a way of communicating with others. But thank you for addressing these topics that is, I think, so current today,
Very
especially in the world of sports, martial arts, and so forth. Thank you for being with us today. And we look forward to having you again for many other topics and questions and some other
great to see you, Idris.
God bless thank you to you both. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
You're welcome, Idris. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Have a good one.
You too. God bless.
God bless.